Project Playtime, a multiplayer horror game similar to Dead by Daylight and other games like that genre. A game that honestly could be one of the best Dead by Daylight clones, but they fucked up, really bad. Project Playtime was released December 12, 2022. The peak number of players was 6,000 during that time, higher than Poppy Playtime peak ever. Yet now it's getting an average of 514 players in the past 30 days. So how a game doing better than the original is now at the lowest of lows in gaming history? What were the best parts? What were the worst? And how we, as the player, can fix them and tell the devs to do since Chapter 3 is finally done after like, I think a year or two. Of course, when Project Playtime came out, it was in early access, and still to this day, when you release a game in early access, of course, there'll be bugs. And bugs there were. Many were very funny, but many were just game breaking. With this many bugs, many players stopped playing entirely. But what was worse was the players who actually enjoyed the game couldn't enjoy the game. See, when you make a multiplayer game, you actually need people playing. Duh, stupid. Because you can't just 1v1 the monster. I mean, why do you think there are 7 spaces in a single lobby? So, to make sure you can't 1v1 the monster, the game makes sure that there are at least 4 players in the lobby. But when you have a game that no one plays, finding out a lobby takes forever. It doesn't help how, when you finally get into a game, people leave in the beginning, making it a 1v1 either way. This made players who actually enjoyed the game also leave. This made a cycle, which made many players leave. This game was meant to be doomed the day it got released. Even after all of these problems, people still play the game, like me. So what's so likable about it? When you die in most games, you either have to spectate or just watch your body. When that happens, people will just go on a different tab, go on their phone, jerk off, sorry. But Project Playtime instead did something different, which they removed after, but we'll get to that later. In the game, when the monster throws you into a pit, there'll be a bunch of mini huggies that you smack. It's just a fun little game of whack-a-mole. What's wrong with that? When you die while waiting for people to rescue you, it's just fun to do something while waiting. It's pretty much like you get to play the game instead of just sitting there doing nothing, like now. This is a great feature because it made sense with the lore of the game, which, that's a whole different can of beans I'm not going into. And it was just a fun add-on. Another thing is the use of grab packs. Most games like this will have campers, which is natural, because people are shit, and fuck them. But with the grab pack, it reaches and makes camping really hard to do. Other things could be how simple and tense the puzzles are, or the movement of the game, but the problems is that the cons shadow all of these things. Project Playtime, as I said before, has a bunch of bugs, some that just make the game unplayable, which I haven't witnessed yet. Well, like in game, yeah, but like during the lobby, yeah, it's unplayable. Also, just Dead by Daylight genres are just like not as popular as other games. Other things could be how unbalanced or it was unbalanced, or that just many YouTubers aren't making that much videos about the game, and no one really talks about it other than the people who like the few people like me who actually enjoy the game. Some problems that I have with the game is how shit the game runs. Like, if I play with someone who doesn't have that well of a PC, it'll literally blow up if you don't even, just when you open the game, like, get into the game, it will literally die. Like, even my PC's dying, and that's saying something, and my PC's, like, decently well. Even if you lower the quality of the game, it will look shit. That the environment of the game wouldn't even matter, so there's no point of it running, like, 2 FPS on, like, Ultra. But as a community, I think that we can all agree Phase 3 was a fucking mistake. Like, holy shit, who was the dev behind this thing? It was removed all the charm that the old game had, and I'm not even exaggerating. They removed the Huggy Pit, the lobby, and the battle pass, everything. I know I said something about oh fix it, blah blah blah, but like still, sure they were working on Chapter 3, but come on, just revert it, please. You don't have to update it, just revert it. So with Chapter 5 being finished, and they probably working on Project Playtime based on the leaks, how can we fix this? First off, let's just get straight into it. Bring back the old train lobby and the minigaming area, and bring back the Huggy Pick, please. And also everything that Phase 2 had that Phase 3 didn't. Also with Catnap just being released, and the next update probably having PJ Pug Pillar. This will make the monster feel fresh, cause I swear to God, whenever I play it's only Boxy and Huggy, which makes no sense because of how fun Mommy is, well okay fine. Catnap will be a great addition with his gas and illusions. Fixing a few bugs here and there, and fixing how much the game will process will fix the player's base issues. I feel like the biggest issues is matchmaking, like how stupid it is to first of all get into a game which takes like 30 minutes, then loading into a game which takes 10 minutes, just for people to leave, and leaving you by yourself against a Huggy Wuggy that can one-shot you. And also, people crash, which I could, you know, tolerate, but still, because of the game's fault that people crash because of how shitty the game process is. I feel like just reverting the main problems that the player base had with Phase 3 that Phase 2 didn't, and a few monsters and fixing bugs here and there will get the player base back up to the prime Project Playtime. I'll probably make a separate 2 videos for PG Pugga players and Catnap's abilities. But honestly, I feel like this game has the most potential, and especially with the new Roblox game coming out. If that turns out good, it tells us that they could make good spin-off games, and that could be the thing that Project Playtime really needed. And it was